And after an absence of nearly 15 years, a former Cape Town institution opened for business once again. The Green Point Flea Market, which saw informal traders doing business in this upscale area for decades, was moved after construction on the Cape Town stadium started in the run-up to the 2010 Soccer World Cup. A new trading area was not successful, and after legal battles and perseverance, just over 80 traders have officially returned to their former place of business. And while small compared to its former glory, there is a renewed hope that the flea market will once again become a must-do event on weekends in the mother city. And our reporter Mariska Botha reports.
We're coming to you from a sunny Cape Town today after it was storming yesterday, with a little bit of good news on this Sunday morning. We are at the Green Point Flea Market that has returned to trading for the first time in 15 years. There's a small selection of traders here today because it's the first time that people are back after they were moved in 2009 for the building of the Green Point Stadium. But to talk to us a little bit more about the importance of informal traders and setups like this, we have David Venter, who's the president of the Informal Economy Development Forum. Mr. Venter, thank you very much for your time. First of all, talk to us about this trading area and why people are so happy to have it back.
Good morning, Mariska. This particular trading area carries there's a lot of history. Things it's not just about today and about tomorrow, it's about talking about the past. And this particular event here depicts what happens within the informal sector. When you're talking about a displacement of over 1,000 informal businesses more than 14 years ago, based on the backdrop of a beautiful Cape Town stadium to build for the World Cup, a symbol of prosperity, of hope for people. When one thinks of more than 1,000 businesses, families displaced because of a signal or a symbol of hope and not having been able to come back after 14 years, one can understand why this means so much to this local economy. Because yes, we're seeing a lot of smiles and laughter today, but if you go back and you think of all the heartache and pain of families not being able to trade, not being able to provide for themselves because of this, I think this is a big triumph for the informal sector. What today stands for is to show that as the informal sector, when we work together with government and with the private sector, there's so much that we can do. Just looking around, you see the hustle, you see the bustle, you see business. And when you see business, there's a flow of money, meaning there's trade, there's businesses happening, people are employed, here's income. So today is not just about the market itself, it's about what it stands for, what it means for the local economy, and also what it means for the informal sector of South Africa.
How big is the informal sector, first of all in Cape Town and then in the country?
The informal sector in Cape Town, you don't have specifics, but in terms of the country at large, it's estimated to be over 2.5 million informal businesses. This is very, very big. You're also looking at over 30% of employment coming through the informal sector. However, these are numbers that are estimated. The actual numbers are not real. However, in Africa, more than 80% of businesses operate within the informal sector. When one understands the term informal sector, you're talking about businesses that aren't necessarily registered for tax. So you're talking about businesses that are startups. And it's such an important place because the informal sector is like a seed. It's where someone has an idea, they want to start a business, but they're not sure if it's going to work. So you start something informally. By providing support in the informal sector, one can understand that these businesses, these ideas, these dreams, you give it a chance to survive, and then these businesses move into the formal sector once they've proven a level of success. So when you provide support to the informal sector, you are directly impacting the formal economy. You are directly creating jobs. You're creating jobs within the formal sector as more businesses grow into formality. So support here and what you see here is so important, and the impact of this on the local economy, just of Cape Town, is going to be great.
We've heard government speaking about looking at the informal sector, to bringing it more into the formal sector so that they can deduce taxes from that. What do you think about that?
Government initiatives and the willingness is there. However, government is limited in its ability to really support the informal sector. We have seen that many promises have been made. Even today, a promise of returning. And 14 years later, and still the the challenges aren't done. We are still busy fighting for the rights of these traders. So I think the willingness is there, but it's not being seen on the ground. It's not to the extent that we need it. Unemployment is increasing. Businesses do not have access to funding. There's still an increase to red tape. As much as we are hearing the promises, we are not seeing it on the ground. Saying that, we are saying also that it's not just for us to rely on government. It's for us to also do our bit, for us to say, what can we do to help each other? What can we do to support each other? And again, Green Point Market is that very thing. These are informal traders who said, we're going to stand together, we're going to help each other, we're going to support one another. And today, here you are. If we had to leave this up to government, today would not have happened. So I think today is a sign that we need to unite, we need to support one another, not just wait on government, but say or ask, what can I do to contribute to the betterment of this economy?
Thank you very much. That was, of course, David Venter, the president of Informal Economy Development Forum, speaking to us there about the importance of these traders and what it means. Every person that is here, I'm going to step out of shot so my colleague Josh Sharrow can show you. For every stall that you see there, that is a family that is earning an income. And we spoke to one of the traders a little bit earlier. She didn't want to appear on camera, but she was one of the original people that traded here 15 years ago. And she says she's now 70 years old, she's a pensioner, and still she cannot retire because of the high costs of living. So exactly what Mr. Venter said there, the importance of spaces like these to create opportunity for informal traders is vital, especially in these very difficult economic times that we see. And we also heard from the organizers that brought this all together that they hope this will bloom once again to the major space and institution it was once before.